today's video is another video in the series of videos that I'm making explaining how to crochet the different crochet stitches. This video will teach you how to do a magic ring, which teaches you how to make a circle. Now, this stitch is notorious as being one of the hardest stitches to do in crochet, but hopefully we'll be able to break it down so it's nice and simple and you do pick it up quite quickly. This stitch is often used for something called amigurumi. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but it is crocheting into the round to make different toys like teddy bears, plushies, that kind of thing. So if that's something that you wish to make in the future, because they are very popular to do at the moment, then this is a stitch that you will need to perfect. I will say this is the first stitch I ever learnt, and that is purely because I'm one of the silly people that just picks up a pattern and goes, yeah, I can do that. I'd never crocheted in my life. And I thought, I want to make this Pokemon character for my son for his birthday, so I'm going to learn how to crochet. And the magic ring was the first thing I had to do. And it took me a while to master it, I will say. But this is the way that I learned to do it. And hopefully it will be simple enough for you to pick up as well. So I'm just going to get this off my hook and undo it. And then I'll show you how to do it in the video. So I have a crochet hook. It doesn't matter what crochet hook you use, it can be any. Obviously, if you're following a pattern, use the hook that they specify in the pattern. Again, I've just got a random ball of yarn. I've got quite a thick yarn here, and that is purely because it makes it easier to see in the video what I'm doing than if I was using a really thin yarn. So the end of the yarn here is what I call the non-working yarn, and everything up the other end I call the working yarn. Just letting you know that, just so you can establish in this video what I'm actually talking about. So I'm right-handed, so that does mean this video is going to be for right-handed crocheters. I'm really sorry that I can't do it the other way as well. But we're going to start off with our left hand, and we're going to lay the yarn across our fingers. From here, we want to take our thumb and pinch the yarn with our index finger and our middle finger. The yarn's going to naturally then fall down the back of those two fingers, which is what we want it to do. And then we're going to bring it down the back. And then we want to bring it up over the front and then turn your hand so the other side is facing you. We then want to move the yarn across the line that we've already got there, and we're going to create a cross on the top of those two fingers. You then want to put the working yarn tail underneath your ring finger and secure it so you have that cross steady on those two fingers. And here's where our hook comes into play. So I've got my hook here. You can see the hook bit, the actual hook. I'm going to face that downwards for now, and I'm going to go under the top right of the cross that I have just created. I'm then going to move that hook further across, and so it is resting just above the top left of the cross. And where that hook is, I then want to use it to pull that piece of yarn through to the other side of the top right. So I would pull that one all the way through so it looks like this. From here, I want to turn my hook towards me, and that will create a cross on the hook that looks like this. We're on to the last step now, so hopefully you've stayed with me. we want to use our hook to pick up the other piece of yarn that is left and replace the top left of the cross, the piece that is being pinched by our ring finger and being held in place here. We then want to pull it through the loop that is already on our hook, and that is your magic ring complete. And it looks just like this. After that, what I tend to do, because your non-working yarn is threaded through the circle, I will pull that one out, and then you've got your finished circle. Let's do that one again. So your non-working yarn tail is going on your left hand over your index finger and your middle finger, and you're using your thumb just to hold that yarn in place on those two fingers. Your working yarn is then going down the back of your fingers and over the top. We're then turning our hand so we can see the other side of where the yarn is. We're then making a cross with our yarn and using our ring finger to hold that working yarn in place. We then need to use our hook to go under the top right of the cross, and then we are using the hook to pull the top left of the cross through to the other side, so that we've created this shape with what's on our fingers. We then will turn our hook towards us, so we end up with a loop on our hook, and our yarn looks like this over the hook. We're then going to pick up the new top left of the cross. So this bit just here that's being held by our ring finger, we want to pick this one up and pull that through the loop on your hook, and you can then remove your fingers. And I'll pull out the non-working yarn to leave us with a complete circle. So from here, it will often tell you to crochet stitches into the ring. So let's say, for example, it teaches you to do 6 single crochets into that ring before closing your ring up. I will just show you what you would need to do. So you would take your hook and you would put it in through the ring and pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through both. And that stitch is the US single crochet or the UK double crochet. So we've done 1, back in through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and we've done 2 stitches. I've then done 3, back in my loop, 4, 5, and 6. Now from here, before I close the ring up, I would just pull my work slightly so I don't lose where I am. And to close our circle, you need to pull on the non-working tail. Make sure you do it slowly, otherwise your work can twist. So you would just pull that one, just very slowly. And you can see that the circle is closing up. And you'll be left with something that looks similar to this. That's the front. And this is the back. Now this will come undone when you're working into it because you haven't secured your non-working tail, but it's not an issue because anytime when you're using this, you can just tug on it just to tighten it. From here, as you're working into the round, I would recommend that you put a stitch marker into your first stitch because it is very, very easy to lose your place when working in the round because you haven't got a beginning of the row. I'm going to put my hook back in and pull on my working yarn just to tighten it. And I will just show you what it means just to do one round. So we know we've got 6 stitches. If you're unsure where your first stitch is, you can count back. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this V here would be our first stitch. So we would put our hook through, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both if we're doing a single crochet again. So there's 1 into the next, there's 2 into the next, 3, into the next, there's 4, and that is how you would continue on with your work if you were crocheting in the round. I hope you found this video for how to create a magic ring useful. If you have, please leave it a like. If you're having any further problems, or if you just want to leave a comment, then please do comment below. I will get back to absolutely everyone that comments. If you wish to receive a notification for the next video, please hit the subscribe button and you will get a notification when the next video is published. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful week and I'll see you soon. Bye!